Hello, I'm James Hier. Welcome to Marketing Dividends, where we explore marketing's new and expanded contribution to company growth. I'm joined this week by Anastasia Barlas, Marketing Director at Kimberly-Clark. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you, James.
Anna, talk to us about marketing's contribution to top-line growth at Kimberly-Clark.
Marketing plays a key role at Kimberly-Clark in helping to deliver, as we said, top-line growth by building very strong brands and also by providing and introducing innovation and renovation to the market.
One of the problems with FMCG marketing is it feels like the thinking has been exported to a global hub. How do you convince a local board that's focused on ROI that there's real value in local insights and local execution?
At Kimberly-Clark, though we are a multinational and global organisation, the great thing about how Kimberly-Clark works is that, we may develop some of our brand architecture and profiles at a global level, but it's all about ensuring that they're relevant to the local markets. So one of the great things that Kimberly-Clark really pushes with the marketing groups around the world is they call it an adopt and adapt philosophy. So you can create programs at a local level and then they're actually taken on board and expanded and exported to the world.
Is that how you'd show ROI back to the board? Is there a way of measuring the value of this local work?
Yeah, there is. At the end of the day, any activity, whether it's innovation or a marketing program, has to deliver ROI. And at the end of the day, we have to deliver either in share growth or in sales. And that's the way that we can basically guarantee that we're delivering an ROI.
There's a lot of talk about customer centricity with telcos, tech firms and service organizations, but they have data-rich, high-frequency engagements with their customers. How are FMCG marketers like Kimberly-Clark getting around this?
Well, within Kimberly-Clark and some of the strong brands that we have, to give you an example, Huggies. Huggies is the #1 brand when it comes to baby care products, and we've created over the last 10 years a very strong relationships with mums through our digital space. So we have one of the strongest websites for Huggies. And what we do is we interact with the consumers and the mums on an ongoing basis, whether we talk to them, they talk to us, they provide feedback and so on. And even to the point where sometimes we'll send out some ideas to a panel that we've created through our database and ask them for feedback as we're creating things along the way.
Rationalisation of brands across FMCG companies seems to be an ongoing phenomenon. Is this reducing marketing's importance inside the organisation?
Rationalisations of brands, I can understand, is a critical issue for the industry as a whole. And I think even within our organisation, the goal is we need to make sure that we are creating brands that are either #1 or #2 within their category. Because if you're a 3rd or 4th player within the category, you're not going to survive.
Your CEO locally comes from a marketing background. How does that change the culture of Kimberly-Clark from a marketing perspective?
I think from a perspective of the marketing team, the conversation that you're having with the CEO is quite an interesting one because he understands the importance of the consumer and the role that marketing plays within the organisation. So I think what he's trying to do is also lift the awareness of what the marketing team does and also what marketing contributes to the overall results for the organisation.
FMCG marketing seems to be going through a huge transition. Is this chaos and change attractive to people coming into your company?
I think from our perspective, I think marketing is an exciting world for young people, and what we're hoping to do is with the changing environment, we're almost setting them up as if they're running their own little organisation, a little mini business to help deliver results. So it's a fast-paced and an ever-changing environment that they need to be able to adapt to fairly quickly.
In a data-rich world, is FMCG still the school of marketing?
I do still think that the FMCG is a great place for marketers to learn all their skills they're looking towards. Yes, there's a lot more other industries that are becoming very data-centric and they're doing a lot of digital activity, but FMCG is still about a brand and it's about connecting with consumers. And we talk about, marketing in a digital world. So you're actually going to be creating programs that are designed to connect with consumers with all the different channels that are available to them every day.
With the entrance of digital and data, does that mean the capability and the structure of your team has had to change?
I don't think at the end of the day it's about the structure of the team, it's how they respond and react and create programs. And what we like to say at Kimberly-Clark is what we want to ensure is that we're improving the digital IQ of all our marketers, and that they are aware that they are marketing in a digital world as opposed to digital marketing, which is what some companies do. And they tend to set up and separate those two areas. We ensure that the brand teams that are helping to drive those digital programs by bringing in certain experts in certain areas, but working together with the brand teams.
In the data-led world, is there still a role for creativity in leading this growth? We're used to great campaigns coming out of FMCG marketers, which used to set the cultural temperature of a country. They seem to be absent.
Creative ideas are still really important. How you go to market might have changed, and you might have a program that involves a whole lot of different types of elements, but it's no different. There still needs to be a really strong consumer-led insight and creative idea that brings it to life and makes it relevant to consumers, because there's no point in going to market without that strong creative idea.
And how are you selling in the ROI of an insight to a local board? Is this helped by having an ex-marketer as your CEO?
ROI is probably one of the key challenges for this new, what I call the digital age. And what becomes really difficult is when you used to look at traditional media, you knew what the ROI was, particularly on when you talked about whether it was TARPs or cost per thousands or so on. The interesting thing about marketing in a digital world is how do you prove each element of your program is measurable and returning on that investment. And the measurability of those channels is probably our critical issue moving forward.
Is the challenge of measuring that ROI because you don't have an end-to-end relationship with your consumer?
No, I think that the challenge is actually getting a clear ROI on those actual channels and understanding what impact each of those channels have on your overall program. Because some of them actually aren't measurable, or the measurability of those components and channels aren't measured in a similar way to traditional media.
We've covered a number of issues that FMCG marketers are facing. What's exciting you about marketing right now?
I think the exciting area for marketing for us is this whole space, the digital world, and marketing in a digital world. And what I find really exciting is our ability to be able to take an issue that might come up today and be able to respond to our mums or consumers within 24 hours and make them aware of something that our brand might be doing or something that's relevant to them. And that to me is what's really exciting about the ability to change and adapt quickly overnight.
Anna, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, James.
And thank you for watching Marketing Dividends.